Wow, my hair looks a mess. Welcome back. Hey, today's a big day. We're getting the delivery. So I finished work early. It's not quite raining yet. I've got a load of wood on the floor to try and keep things, because the workshop is being delivered. It's in a lot of bits apparently. I've got a huge parts list. And the one thing they said is curbside delivery, so that's going to go to the front of the house. Then I'm going to have to drag it to the back. That's going to take a while. Sorry, I keep looking at the screen, not at the camera. I think I've never done this before. So I'm excited. So in a minute, he said he's about half an hour away. And we'll see if he's a nice truck driver and does it curbside, or whether he's a really nice truck driver and brings it around the back garden. He's hoping. I'll offer him some beer pennies. So we'll give it a go. Oh my God, I'm knackered. Well, the delivery driver was lovely. I gave him 20 beer tokens and he helped carry it to the back garden rather than curbside. So now I have a gigantic pile of tons of stuff, and it's just starting to, oh look, blue sky, that's proven me wrong. It's just starting to rain. So I'm gonna sort this out a little bit more, because I've tried to put it down in individual bits, but I want it all together so I can get a nice big tarp over it and protect it, because there's a storm on the way, as per usual. And so I'm going to get this done. Might get a little bit wet, and then I can start reading the instructions. Anyway, next. So I have lots of bits of wood. Right then, so got the really long ones, front and back. Got my floor bearers. In the instructions it just says space evenly. Cool. I found my mystery bit of wood. The front where the door goes, this is in between. It was hidden underneath lots of wood. So those are the sides, these are the fronts, these are the sides. But some of the wood really isn't in great condition. I mean, look at that. It's been sitting in soaking wet. So I'm not happy about that. So these ones will definitely be going facing that way. It does say in the pack, choose carefully as to which ones go where. So, yeah. So anyway, I'll do it. Might have to change a couple of them when I come to actually putting it together. So I'm going to roughly space these out now. To be fair, the instructions are quite good, and they've built the instructions to suit lots and lots of different versions of this. So it's modular, so you can see, and it does say you can move things around, but basically I'm on this bit here. So on the front you have it overhanging, so you've got the notch at the very front of the bearer overhanging, and same at the back, so that gives me that distance. So I'm going to lay those out, then again with the back one. Cool, so we have got overhang. So it's a choice, and just need to get that position right first. So I'm going to lay these out, give it a go. This might take a while of fiddling. Also got my tape measure, because it does say space evenly. Wish me luck. I've come in for a bit of a warm-up. And a bit of coffee. I'm on my phone because I'm charging my other camera because it went flat. The cable doesn't reach that far. Oh, that's better. So, look at that lovely light I've got coming on me there. It's just coming through the trees, nice and dark. Sorry, photographer. Right then. So, see the black bits there? I've done the floor struts. Vaguely got them in place. Screw them down. It doesn't say screw them down, which I find very peculiar. So the problem is I'm going to be putting floorboards on them, and I don't want them bouncing around. I'm going to be walking on them, so I've only put like one in each end just to keep them in place. But I know, clumsy me, walking over that, I'm going to be tripping over them, kicking them, moving them. So then when I come to put the floorboards down and try and get all my screws or nails or whatever in the right place, that's going to be all over the shop. So being tidy. So now I've got to start putting some wallboards in, but I also need to paint them. But I also need to put them in with screws. Now, this is all come pre-packed, and you get lots of bits and bobs, the door locks and everything. But really, so I've got a massive bag of nails, screws, this thing, long nails, long screws, short screws, roof nails, all in one bag. Why? Put them in 4 or whatever separate bags. It's not even a standard bag, it's just been taped over, so it's like, what a pain in the arse. It means each time I've got to sort out a load of the stuff I want to then go and use it. When you're paying thousands of pounds for something, I want someone to spend 10 minutes just putting stuff in a bag. Not 1, 4. Anyway, rant over. So I'm going to find some of them, find out which ones I want while my camera charges. So, got the floor bearers down, one of which is too short. Not about that much. So I'll put the gap in the middle. Someone needs to learn how to use a tape measure. I thought I'd got it wrong. So I've just placed them on at the minute because they need screwing down. But it's untreated wood, so I need to treat it. So this is the bit where I get mucky. I'm going to see about rollering them, paint them. I've got the black. I want the first 2 layers to be black. The rest of it's all going to be a teal colour. But I need to treat it, and I want it in the joints. So, I'm going to start painting. Don't need to paint them because they're treated, pressure treated. The rest of it's all just plain wood. It's too cold to paint, so I'm going to cover it over afterwards anyway. But it's got to be done. I haven't really got much choice. It's a lovely dry day. It's supposed to be dry tomorrow. It's supposed to rain Monday. So if plan is if I can keep it dry at least, and then I'll have to come back to it in another time. So we've got, where's my paint? Got one seal, fence, paint, well, fence and shed and all sorts. So let's have a look. This is black. It's not a very black, and as you can see with this, it washed off, but that was understandable. It got completely rained on. We had so many storms. So I gave up. I will come back to it. It'd be nice if it would roller. So the first one I need to do is this end one. Actually, let's just do a simple one here as a test. Let's see if this will roll. Yeah. Right, you don't need to watch me do all this lot, but that's the principle. I found my first problem. So I painted the first set of boards, put the first corners down. It's actually square. I'm so surprised. So, ooh, look at that glare, nice. Come to put my second boards in, these front ones, screwed down to that. It says use the S50 screws, so basically it's got S30, S50, S70. It's the length of the screw, 50mm screw. The gaps for the timber, just drop the screw. You can see on this board, because I've painted it, I'm going to get finger marks all over it. The gaps for the 50mm. Screws don't reach. They need to be about 60mm. Screws are no good. And even if you went in a long way, it's like, I'm going that far in with a screwdriver. The screwdriver bit's not that long. So, guess where I'm going? To get a load of screws. What a pain. Back in a bit. The joys of filmmaking. I just recorded a whole section and I hadn't pressed record. Idiot. So, onwards and upwards. So I've done perimeter wall, just 2 pieces or 3. The end bits are slightly wider, taller. So it doesn't say in the instructions how many you should go high before you do your floor, but it says do the floor next. So the floor is just a single section piece. I've got absolutely tons of it. But the problem is I've got to paint that to put it down into the workshop. So what I'm thinking of doing is trying to get everything in, just laying them across, painting the back of them because that's the bottom, then flip them over, nail them down, then I can paint the top, and just do it in sections because there's lots and lots and lots. The wood underneath is pressure treated, but these aren't. So I think that's the best way of doing it. Comment below if there's a better way of doing it, but it'll be a bit late because I'll have already done it. But that's the way I'm doing it, so I won't bore you with this bit. I'll do a time lapse and see in a minute when I've got some floor done, hopefully. Right then, floor. So I started a bit off camera because my camera went flat and a bit boring while I was figuring it out. But basically I need to lay floor all the way down. I've got tons of it, but I need to paint the underside of it. So I came up with a little system. I've done 4 boards. So basically what I'm doing is I'm painting the back of them, putting the 4 boards down, nailing them down, painting the front, and then working my way through. And then hopefully that means I can get everything treated and also gives it a bit more of a chance of drying. I'm going to put a tarp over this once it's done, but it's going to get cold. So frost, water, it's going to get damaged, I know that. But I just want to get the main treatment on and then come back and do it again when the weather's nicer. But I need something on it, I can't just leave it bare. So I spent all this time covering and protecting all the wood out there. No need to put the shed together and then just leave it. Ooh, get it wet. So that's what I'm doing. Lots of nails, lots of hammering. So I figured out a little bit of a system. So I'll carry on with these. Basically, each board, flip it over, goes on top of the runners, knock it in, and then hopefully they join up. Did have a mallet around here somewhere. It's over here. Typical. And then once they're in, it's nail time. So I've got 40mm nails, which I've just dropped one. I've been sorting through the bag because they're all mixed up, and there's some shorter ones and smaller ones, so I have to be careful not to use the same ones. But now I've got that in, just follow the line. 2 on each board. What I'm doing, I'll do 1 strip down here, and then I only put 1 in this last one because I need to be able to get under it for the next one. Which then also means, I think I did that one, yeah. I only came up with that idea once, and these need some. But then I want to go down that end because I found when I'd done those I was going down, it had splayed out a bit this end. So if I do this one, keep my knee against it. And then that's my 4 boards. So I'm going to go through and nail the rest of those. It's a lot of nails. And carry on that way. So no need to bore you with that one. So I'll carry on this, then it'll be stage 2. Stage 2? No, it won't be stage 2. Stage 2. I got past that years ago. The next stage. So I did put a few screws in the bottom runners because they were bouncing a little bit. And I'll carry on doing that as I go down. Welcome back to a very frosty, now December morning. Actually, it's about lunchtime. So this floor's killing me, figuratively and literally. My back is killing me. I worked out 688 nails so far to put this down, and my biggest problem with my back is bending over. So I've been kneeling down, sitting in silly positions, but last time I gave up because it got dark, really, dark and cold. So I painted all the underside and then left them resting on here so they could dry overnight, well, over the week, because I couldn't do it in the evenings because it's been pitch black. And then it meant I could put them down without having to paint them today, because it's freezing. It's still, well, it's lunchtime and it's just got to -1. It was -5 when I started this morning. I've got most of these nailed down right to the last ones, but the last board needs ripping. There were 2 spare. It's 30 something boards in the end, and this is a 5 metre by 3.5. So yeah, almost 30 boards. But the last board, it says in the instructions, will probably overlap a little bit, and it does by a little bit. So I'm going to have to rip that with my saw. So I've got my hobby horse out and the board over there. You can't see it. There's no point in seeing that bit. But I'm going to measure this last one, rip it down, wedge it in, and then nail the last few boards down. But my biggest bit of advice, I mean, this is rock solid now. There's not a single bit of creak. There's no bounce. Dead chuffed. Oh, there's a bit of a creak there, but it's still settling down, and it's freezing cold. I'm dead chuffed with it. This is the 19mm thick board. They do an 11mm floor. I thought, that's going to be a bit weedy. They also do like an inch thick floor, but I couldn't afford that. So I went for the happy medium and went for the 19mm thick. The roof, I've gone for the 11mm, because the roof, I'm thinking, if it's not substantial enough, I can add 2 later on top. That's the plan anyway, as long as the inside stays okay. I've also only got normal felt, so the plan is, budget allowing, at some point when that starts to show signs of not being up to the job, I'll then go upwards and improve that. So that's the plan. Anyway, this last board, so I need, hopefully these measurements will be the same. That is 11mm, no, 110mm. 110. 110. Yeah, it's looking pretty square. Oh, 115. He says last minute 115. 105, I mean. 105, 105. Yeah, probably 105. 105 that end, 110 that end. So I'm going to go back, rip that. I'll be back in a minute. Surprisingly, my hands are warm enough, but I have been wearing gloves. Right, so I ripped that last one. It was about 3mm different one end to the other, so I think I've got it fairly straight. That's probably just the boards. Some of the boards didn't go in quite so well as others. So I'm quite pleased with that, over that length. Quite pleased with that. And it was literally trimming off the groove off the end. So it wasn't actually into the board, so it was also only a tiny bit. Say 10mm one end, 5mm the other. So, load more nails to put in. This is where my back kills me. So, back in a minute. Awesome. Floor done. Right then. So, what have I learned from doing this floor? Buy a nail gun. I've got dodgy hands. This hammer, it's a Spec Ops, it's a tactical hammer. It's not, I got it from Amazon. Decent price, it's well balanced, but for me, it's, what is it, 22 ounce. But for me, with my weird hands, I know you're supposed to grip it at the back. I haven't got the leverage or the grip to do that, but it doesn't seem to matter where you handle it. It's in the right place. I've been hammering from about there, but it gives me, this almost helps. So I'm loving this hammer. It's really good. It's about 30 quid, and it's got a textured front which is now plenty worn, but it's showing lovely signs of age. It's got a one of those magnets to hold the nails. For this, I'm being too accurate. That's not really. That's a more of a framing thing. So, but I'm loving it. So, but buy a nail gun, because this was nearly 700 nails putting this lot in. But that's the floor done, other than painting it, which don't think we're going to do today. But rock solid, really, really happy with that. So next, caffeine, but next few layers of wool. So I'm painting it black to this layer, Then beyond this, it's going to be blue, well, aqua bluey, I don't know what it is. A nice blue colour on the outside. Inside's going to be painted white because we don't want it to be dark and dingy. It's a workshop. It's for creating stuff. It's for creating jewellery, and for me creating 3D prints and design work and that sort of thing. Last thing I want is dark and dingy. That's why we don't want to do stuff in the house, because doing stuff in the lounge or the kitchen table, the lighting's never great. This, I want proper bright, good lights that we can sit and work with. So, with it being so cold, I might put a layer of paint on this last thing. I could even do that in the dark. But next, I'm going to get the walls. So, with the magic of YouTube, this probably looked like it took 5 minutes. All in all, with breast and back, I was probably doing 4 boards at a time before I needed a bit of a break. So this has been, and painting it, about 2 days work. Well, no, 2.5. No, 1.5, sorry. It's 2 o'clock now. I started at 9 this morning. So, but I'm quite pleased with it. It's done. It's nailed down. But really, get a nail gun. It would be so much easier. I can't afford that in the minute, so but it would be nice. Anyway, if you're enjoying this, like and subscribe. You get to see more of my silly haircut when I haven't got a hat on. Me freezing parts off. So, design photography. But this is sort of, it's construction. I'm doing this, I'm loving it. Probably doing it wrong. Probably loads of you are typing in the comments. But I can only do what I can do. I can only do what I know. And I'm learning as I go along. So, bear with me. If you see stuff that I could do better next time, type it in. But a bit late typing in, oh, do it this way now, because this will be after the fact. You'll be seeing this. So, and I'll release all these probably in the one go when I'm resting. So, cool. So I'm going to tidy up a little bit, get some tarpaulins off over there, find some more bits of wood. And I think I need 6 boards high, if I can remember the instructions. And then it's windows and doors time. Exciting. So, let's get cracking. So, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. You'll see more of this, and you'll see more of lots of other stuff. And we'll carry on. But catch you in a bit.